What's up guys, and welcome back. Today I'll be making a euphoric house track, and I'll be doing that from scratch as always. If you want the project file and the stems of this project I'll be making today, it will be available to download in my community, which is linked down below. But let's get into it. So I'm starting with this chord patch that I've made in Vital, which is also in one of my packs, linked down below. It sounds like this. Kind of a soft sound, and I'll be using that for the break. And now I'll just mess around on my MIDI keyboard and make some kind of progression. Just played that in and added some notes here and there, and we got this. So a really cool thing to do with progressions to make them sound very emotional is to add static notes on top which don't change throughout the progression. Just like I've added the C, the A, and the D in every single chord here. And then all this changing is really the fundamental note and then the fifth. Except for the last chord here where things change up a little bit and we add this dissonance as well, which makes it sound really cool. I'm just going to add another Vital instance. I'll add a chord sound for the drop, just copy the progression over, and then we have something for the break and something for the drop. Really cool sound, but it's got a bit more detuning than the first preset. So I'm just going to go in here and go to the fine tune here. The oscillator 1 fine tune. The random is mapped to the fine tuning, which is giving the weird like kind of vibrato but also analog-y kind of pitch movement, and we'll just turn that up a little bit. And then the drop. Bass, we'll just duplicate this and delete all the top notes, and we'll just go with the bass notes. So for the bass, I've just copied over the exact same preset, but just removed and changed a few things. I've turned down the noise a little bit on the bass, and then turned off the delay and reverb because we don't really want that on the bass. And then I've gone in on the multiband compressor and just really dialed up the low end. Now we got this. Let's just quickly add a low cut EQ on the chord, and then together these two sound like this. Added this preset here, and I'm going to add some kind of harmony layer or ARP in the background to really make it emotional. Just added one of my kicks in and then played in this 4 on the floor rhythm for the kick. Added these two claps, this one and this one. The first one is just completely dry. The second one has this convolution reverb on it, which makes it wet. Without it, it sounds like this. And the claps come in after the first 4 bars. Added this hat here as a little fill. I'm going to make this loop a little longer. We're going to make it 24 bars and then loop the clap and the hat here. Added a shaker loop after the first 8 bars. Another shaker loop that I've chopped up. Got to process that a little bit though. First we got a compressor. And then a sidechain to remove the transient on every beat. An open hat for the last 8 bars here. A frequency shifter on that hat. And an EQ to kind of reduce the harsh highs. And then lastly for the drums, I've added this lo-fi hat which is playing on the 16th notes in between the hats. But to make this mix pop a little bit more, we need to process the drums and add some sidechain. So we're going to go here and group all the drums and just call it drums. Add a compressor on the drums. a transient control, which is very, very subtly boosting the transients at 2%. And lastly, we got this stock soft clipping chain inside Bitwig. You just have to search for soft clip, and then it's the saturator soft clip. As you can see, there's a little bit of drive here, but if we go into the actual plugins, which is making this possible, we can click on chain. And then you'll see that it's the amp plugin that's adding the drive. It sounds super crunchy now. Then we'll just go up to the melodics and add a duck as the sidechain. Going on the bass and just removing a bit of low mids. I'm going to turn down the release of the bass a bit. For the last section here, I want to add the melody, which goes like da da da. And I'm going to do this with a diva. I've got one of my presets here, and it sounds like this. And I'll play in a melody which sounds something like this. Add a little low-cut EQ, add a simple delay with the stereo pattern on, and then on the feedback, we're adding a pitch shifter an octave up. And then lastly, a Valhalla vintage verb for some reverb. Just lower the volume of the one in the break. Add a vinyl noise. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this little production idea. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something as well. Like I mentioned in the beginning, if you want the project file and the stems of this idea, you can download them in my community. But without further ado, let's play the track through. Take care, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video.